There was a few things that were the key catalysts, right? My dad purchasing a business when I was 15, and then my dad actively deciding, Goro, you're going to work in every single job in this business, and you're going to learn everything. And so it was a cash register company. And now it seems like a cash register company, there's not many jobs. We had the service division, we had the sales division. We had at one stage 24 employees working for us, right?
So building cash registers, basically.
No, selling and servicing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so there's only 3 companies or 2 companies in all of Victoria that does that. And back in 97, every shop needed a cash register, right? And so that was one of the key catalysts. But one of the other catalysts was a family friend came over, and still to this day, he tells this story. I was apparently on my laptop doing work, and I'd come in to the kitchen, grabbed a bite to eat, and said a moderate high and walked back out. He's like, apparently he had a chat to my parents saying, what's wrong with your son? Is everything okay? Right? And he was like, he ignored me. I was on the computer and and his brother-in-law was like my best friend in Dubai where I grew up. And so, obviously my parents did a few things after that because they valued his opinion. He's, he's a very inspirational man. And so one of the other things Dad did was start getting me into property and business events, which he was attending when I was 16, right? So, and then as a consequence of that, one of my roles in the cash register company, and this is a trial by fire, I was going door to door as a 16-year-old, having to build rapport with the shopkeeper and sticking stickers on the cash register where they keep all their freaking money and selling them paper rolls or cash registers and things like that because, we were doing, one of our main income streams was consumables.
Yeah.
Right? And so I built myself up from a complete introvert to having to be able to, I guess, straddle that line into extrovert when I needed to at that time. Yeah. And so...
Was it hard?
So it was hard. Nothing worth doing is easy, right?
100%.
Right?
And you need that one person to push you, right? I still remember, when I first came to Australia, right? Biggest introvert in the world. My first job was a petrol station, at a petrol station.
Of course it was.
And yeah, it's the biggest stereotype, right? Yeah. But hey, look at me here, right? And it's so funny, like the business owner there, and I talk about this story in my book as well, right? The business owner there, his name is still Eddie. I still talk to him right now, right? Like still these days. It was a BP station on Sydney Road. I still remember. I still go past and I show my kids that I used to work here. Anyways, that guy had this line, Moss, don't be a banana, have that's all every time he would say this to me, right? And it seeped into my head, right? Don't be a banana, like in his Egyptian accent, right? And basically that was the push that I needed, basically. I remember there was a junkie that came in the petrol station once, completely drugged out, drunk, and I switched off the petrol station. I was so scared of telling him off and asking him to that I turned off the lights and I closed the petrol station for the whole night. Like seriously, no sale at all. And this is on Sydney Road petrol station, right? Wow. And he came up in the morning and he didn't fire me. And he gave me the biggest lecture of his life. He's like, you are excuse my French, you are, X, Y, and Z, and because the guy was so out of whack that he stayed there all night and he was there in the morning at like 7. He took me out with holding my hand and he said, slap him. And I was like, no, I'm not slapping him. He's like, no, slap him because this is how you're going to learn. And so I shook him up and I said, man, you need to go. Like in the nicest possible way. I didn't slap him, but that was the push. Like, so everyone has that turning point, right, in their life. And so from your story's perspective, how did that change? Like when you talk about, going to those property seminars, how did all of that started feeling real and, moving into this space?
Well, it almost starts as a journey from my first property.
Yeah.
Right? And so I went to all these property seminars. I was reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and I'd bought in. I was all into this philosophy, right? And Dad was buying properties. He'd purchased like 4 or 5 properties within the 1 year, knowing all these strategies. And I was doing, I'd actually started another business within Dad's business, doing the computerized point of sale, which is what everyone does, right? Touchscreens.
Yeah.
So, that was doing well. And then Mom and Dad said, you're doing so well. You basically got your own business. You're 17. We want to give you a gift for your 18th, right?
Sure.
And they said, you've got a choice. We can buy you this dream car, this Lexus coupe you've been dreaming of. It has beautiful pearl white Lexus on the background of my computer screen. Like everyone had seen it. They knew I talked to everyone I knew about it. Or we can pay for your deposit on your first property.
Nice.
And as much as
it was a car. No, I'm just kidding.
Of course. It was the first property. Now, that wasn't the best property purchase. I learned a thing or two from that purchase.
Yes.
But it got me in the game.
Yeah.
And it got me, responsible for my financial outcomes.
Of course. And how old were you at that time?
17.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So I had a mortgage by the time that it was an off-the-plan property, an apartment in the CBD, which I'd never do again.